Hi everyone, and again I apologize for the interruptions that you heard in the initial video, and I am duly embarrassed by that, and my settings were wrong when I recorded it, so I will redo it now. So, Chapter 6, Learning Objectives. Explain market segmentation, describe the process, and explain the concept of marketing or market positioning. So the levels of market segmentations are the four that you have right there. Mass marketing, market segmentation, niche marketing, and direct or one-to-one segmentation. So let's look at all four. Mass marketing appeals to a broad range of consumers, not addressing any distinct characteristics among the consumers, right? So the use of one basic marketing strategy is to appeal to the range of consumers, and in mass marketing certainly appeals to the masses, as it says right there, and Walmart is a good example. They offer everyday prices and products that attract a wide cross section of the North American population for sure. So it seems that people of all income brackets like to save money, and Walmart certainly does that. And they have very stiff competition. Next one is market segmentation, right? A company specializes by concentrating on segments of the population. So here in the coffee market, manufacturers of brands such as Maxwell House consider the preferences and lifestyles of different customers and market a host of products to meet their needs. So the at-home coffee market segments embrace roast and ground coffee, let's say, and are very suitable for different coffee makers or different markets. So well-known brands such as Nescafe offers a variety of products in many of these segments. Next one is niche marketing. And niche marketing takes market segmentation to a step that is further. Initially, this type of marketing strategy focused on subgroups with a different market segment. And now the subgroup has unique and identifiable characteristics, even though the subsegment is small, and it presents sufficient opportunity and profit potential, right? The niche market is usually a market that consumers will pay more and are willing to pay for the product only because it's a very unique market, and a lot of individuals or consumers like to be individual and will always like to be different, and so products like this attract them to it. That's right. So often this segment pursuit is quite small, as it says, but the success is finding opportunities that do not require large economies of scale in production and distribution, but the profits can certainly be very, very high. So market segmentation, in the context of market segmentation, direct segmentation, or one-to-one market or marketing or individual marketing, refers to a situation in which unique marketing programs are designed specifically to meet the needs and preferences of individual customers. Right? So advancing technology encourages and enables such definitive marketing practice. With social media, certainly this is done easier and easier. So marketers certainly feel strong about the fact that the detailed consumer data that they receive to get for a much higher degree of intimacy per customer and frequency of contact with each customer. So if we look at behavioral targeting, it's a database driven marketing system that tracks a consumer's behavior to determine their interests and then serves ads to that person relevant to those interests. So behavioral targeting has forced marketers to rethink their strategies. They are shifting away from traditional media that reach a mass audience and toward media or social media that reach consumers directly and more efficient. Right? So geo-targeting is one way that marketers can target customers individually. It's a practice of customizing an advertisement for a product or service to a specific market based on location of potential buyers. So this allows a marketer to specify where ads will or won't be shown on a website based on searchers' location. So such technology allows local marketers and with limited financial means to compete more effectively with larger markets who have far greater resources, right? So mobile technology is reshaping individual targeting market, and the smartphone takes geo-targeting a step further. And location-based targeting, an effort to integrate consumers' location information into their marketing strategy. Location-based is relatively new, less and less today, with the growth of the smartphone really taking over our lives, and consumers and marketers have taken advantage of this for sure, where a higher percentage of consumers are using smartphones. Believe it or not everybody is still using a smartphone. Direct segmentation, which is we look at mass customization, creation of systems that can produce products and personalized messages to a target audience of one. Yes, this is the future of marketing, where every individual is deemed to be as important as everybody else, no matter how much they purchase, and the potential or the lifetime value of such an individual is what marketers are pushing for. Right, so this is not a new concept, but certainly it is a dramatic change in going forward. So marketing is continuously evolving. And if you look at brand democratization, a company seeks opinions from customers and lets the consumer interact with making changes to the brand. This is really important, and I think one of you chose Tesla as a group project. And let me tell you, Tesla, Mr. Elon Musk, I know I talked a lot about him, but I can tell you that he is really into this, and he will democratically make the brand for each and every customer if he can, and he will listen to everybody to make the product more for what the consumer or the customer is looking for. Also, identifying and selecting target markets. This is when an organization or a company must consider the various social demographic trends, such as aging population, social responsibility. Canadian consumers have a genuine concern for the environment. New household formations, so traditional households have been replaced by single households or same-sex households or empty nest households, which type of household have different needs and expectations of marketers. And also you have ethnic diversity, and certainly here growing at a rate much higher than traditional English language and French language communities here in Quebec and in Canada. So there are variables for identifying target markets, right? Demographics, psychographics, geographics, and behavior response, right? So this describes the ideal customer around which the market strategy will be devised and delivered. If you look at demographic segmentation, defined as a division of a large market into smaller segments on the basis of a combination of age all the way down to marital status. Right? So marketers analyze demographic characteristics, and what comes out of it is a profile embracing those characteristics judged to be relevant for the purpose of developing a marketing strategy. Demographic segmentation, you can take a look at a car like this, and Acura appeals to a target customer described as managerial or professional with higher education and healthy income. Certainly when you look at this, it tells you a lot about biases, but marketing is biased only for the reason that they need to reach their market and their target market as quickly as possible. Gender segmentation, here the trends are another factor that marketers consider when developing a profile. So women more and more in the workplace. In this case, we can take a look at that example, and the changing roles of women and men in Canadian households. The market right now is really pushing towards unisex instead of having one or the other. So this is really what's headed in the right direction, I would think. And marketers must consider the size and profit potential of an ethnic hold on, I skipped one. Yes, so prudent marketers are aware of gender trends, and they know that 31% of women earn more than their husbands, and 20% earn about the same. So if you talk about a progressive-minded marketing organization, right? A lot of companies have reacted to this, and a company like Home Depot really is pushing unisex, and largely based on its understanding of both men and women would like to renovate their homes. So this is huge for the future, and when it comes to gender segmentation or eliminating gender segmentation, really is what the goal is. As I spoke to quickly before, ethnic segmentation here presents new opportunities for Canadian marketers, and visible minorities will account for 1 in 5 citizens, if not even more, by the time next year rolls around. So minorities will account for almost 70 to 80% of growth in consumer spending, and there are visible minorities absolutely in our world, and there's going to be much more. And of course, with all that has been said in the last month or so about Black Lives Matter, certainly we're talking about this. This is a big opportunity for marketers to grasp this and to take advantage of it, because this is what marketers do. Psychographic segmentation based on activities, interests, and opinions. Here, really, psychographic is multidimensional. It considers a variety of factors that affect a person's purchase decision. This is very advantageous to marketers because it tells them not only who buys, but also why they buy. So when this information is combined with demographics, a more complete portrait of a target market comes out. And lifestyle marketing really segments are the results of the studies conducted by various marketing research organizations. So marketers today really are keen in using psychographic profiling to market products to satisfy the requirements of Canadian lifestyles, right? So the advertisement, let's say for chocolate milk, as you can see here, appears in figures, this one right here, to a younger generation of consumers who firmly believe in living a healthy, active lifestyle. So brand messages that portray that lifestyle will certainly have an impact on that target market. And now we look at geographic segmentation, right? So here refers to the division of large geographic market into smaller geographic or regional units. Canada can be divided into 5 distinct areas, and there's the Maritimes, Quebec, Ontario, Prairies, and British Columbia. And these considerations are used with the demographics and psychographics combined that provide a market, here again, the marketer, a clear description of the target market and the description also of the strategy that they have to develop. Right? So it's possible that different strategies might be required per different areas. Certainly here in Quebec, where language and cultural characteristics require the use of original marketing strategies without a doubt, and many companies simply adapt their English market campaign to French and expect that to work. Unfortunately, this doesn't always happen, and it doesn't always work, and they have to change it. But the real uniqueness of the French Quebec market demands a different strategy, and usually what happens is sometimes they will start with the English market campaign, and then they will come up with a different, unique French campaign, and they'll realize that the French campaign can be used across Canada and attract a better audience than the English campaign. So there's a lot of good things that come out of Quebec when it comes to marketing. And if you ever work for a company in Quebec, you need to be able to look at it differently than most. So also we'll look at geo-demographic segmentation. This is the isolation of dwelling areas, a combination of geographic and demographic information based on assumption that people seek out neighborhoods or residential neighborhoods in which to cluster with their lifestyle peers. And this is so true in many areas of Montreal, which is on the east side versus the west side, different lifestyles, especially even the north side and the south side of the island you have this geodemographic segmentation. Well, people will certainly pay more for rent to buy a home to live in those areas than in other areas. So this is really something almost down to the street, only because of what is close to that street, be it a market like the Jean Talon market, or be it restaurants, and all of this combined makes the value of certain neighborhoods higher here in Quebec, in Montreal, I should say, than others. And this is really so true in pretty much every area of Montreal. So we're all unique, and we all look for this. And micro-marketing, development of a strategy on regional or local basis. Here, the uniqueness needs of a small group of highly targeted markets is exactly what I was talking about. They're really looking for this more and more. And behavior response segmentation, the division of buyers into groups based on certain behavior patterns, right? So the occasion for use, in order to increase the consumption of the product, marketers using the occasion for use segmentation strategy show how the product can be used on various occasions. So advertisers show such products as breakfast cereals, let's say, times other than the traditional meal times. So the products are associated with special occasions and are prompted heavily at these times, let's say flowers and chocolates, let's say for Valentine's Day and Mother's Day. Benefits sought, here the segmentation is based on benefits and premise that different consumers try to gratify different needs when they purchase a product. For example, people of all ages eat breakfast cereal, and there is much overlap in the types of cereal people buy based on the benefits that they're looking for. So a lot of companies, right, they come up with a variety of cereals that offer unique benefits to consumers of all ages, be it for health, be it for sugar for the kids, for a sweet tooth. They will follow all of this. And behavior response, you have usage rate. The characteristics of heavy users may be different from medium or light users, right? So frequency here, marketers will conduct research to distinguish the characteristics of a heavy user from those of a medium or light user. You also have loyalty response. This is the degree of brand loyalty a consumer or customer has also influenced in a segmentation. As with usage rate segmentation, the marketing organization conducts research to determine the characteristics of brand loyalty, and strategies would then be developed for this. And one example would be targeting and applied. If you look at a target market, in this case, you can take a look at Mercedes-Benz. Certainly, Mercedes-Benz represents a good fit for an automobile that is in a specific demand or specific demographics, which is outlined here demographically, psychographically, and also the behavior response attracted to brands based on image and reputation.